Today, a new champion will emerge. One angler will rise above his competition to win the $325,000 Everstart Championship. His success will not only crown him king for a day, but perhaps pave the way for future success on the nation's premier tournament circuit, the FLW Tour. The exciting 2002 Everstart Championship starts right now on FLW Outdoors. Hello, America, and welcome to Alexander City, Alabama. This is the 2002 Everstart Championship. I'm Carlton Wade. I'm Taylor Carr.
And I'm Charlie Evans here at this event presented by Conseco.
Our 10 finalists have just taken the stage, and these anglers thrilled to be here and thrilled just to even qualify for this championship.
Only the top 50 anglers from each of our three divisions qualified to get here in this no-entry fee event. Then they had to survive day one, day two, day three. I'll tell you, these guys here have earned the right to be here.
And no mistake, Charlie, this was a good fishing challenge this week. Nobody ran away with it. They had to really work for their fish.
Absolutely. We got a lot of Kentucky spotted bass here in Lake Martin. Very few largemouth being caught in this event. So a lot of close weights. I bet we see some close weights today.
These professionals were tested all week long. We had changing weather conditions. We'll see how they did today. Coming up, we'll have that exciting weigh-in here at the championship. Don't go away. Welcome back to Alexander City, everybody. This is the 2002 Everstart Series Championship. $325,000 in this total purse, and one of our anglers will walk away with a very nice first place prize.
Absolutely. We paid 50 places on both sides, both pro and co-angler side. But the winning pro here will get $25,000 in cash, plus a beautiful 519 VS Ranger powered by an Evinrude Yamaha. That with Garmin electronics, Minn-Kota trolling motor, Everstart battery sitting on a Ranger trail trailer, ready to go fishing.
That's nice.
And Charlie, it's a huge career boost as well to win this tournament.
Absolutely. The top 10 from each of our divisions get the opportunity to move up to the FLW Tour next year. A lot of these anglers here are going to take that shot and go for the big time next year.
Well, we started with 150 anglers on Wednesday. They fished 2 days. Now, the key is to fish those 2 days and be in the top 20 at the end of 2 days, and they fished to make those 10 today. Here's what happened on day 1 and 2 at Lake Martin.
Day one.
Championship qualifiers knew Lake Martin would be challenging. Weather changes had the fish moving, making it even harder to tell where they would bite and what they would bite on. South Carolina's Nick Gainey started off throwing a spinnerbait in pockets that had produced 4- and 6-pounders in a March tournament. It was a different story in November. Clayton Douglas of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, had the problem partially solved. Now watch his topwater bait on the left side of the picture. Douglas found a fish, but in a scene to be repeated all over the lake all day, had to throw it back when it was just under the 12-inch limit. Dick Schaefer was nearby tossing a shad wrap. He had one on early and missed it. He'd go on to get a 5-fish limit, but they only combined to weigh 6 pounds. That was the theme of day 1. There were 66 limits, but not many big fish.
You know, there's a lot of fish out there, but just getting the bigger bites is the key deal. And I'm just having to fish real slow just to catch what fish I'm catching.
It was the same story for Ohio's Joe Baylog, who won last year's event, but only managed 2 fish on day 1.
I really thought I had fish in practice this year to win again. It's still possible if I have a big enough bag tomorrow, but I caught 2 pounds today. I mean, I was catching 10 to 13 pounds pretty easy. I was really catching big ones. So I'm disappointed.
Jason Quinn was one of few who found both quantity and quality. A big fan of fishing offshore structure, Quinn's 11-11 took the lead.
I'm catching a lot of fish. The better fish are taking a while to come by, but catching the limit's not been a problem. Just getting a better bite spin.
Another South Carolina boy was right behind Quinn, a confident Ricky Shumpert, who had a 4th place finish when the FLW came to Lake Martin.
Can you win this event?
If I make it to Saturday, I can win.
Day 2.
The beauty of Lake Martin as we begin day 2 at the Everstart Championship. Now back to Ricky Shumpert, who just said he could win if he made Saturday's finals. Still throwing a spinnerbait, he failed to catch fish early, and his bold prediction appeared to be in doubt. But that's the kind of day many of the top pros had. Lower weights, fewer limits. First day leader Jason Quinn did manage almost 10 pounds, and that was enough to stay on top.
Actually, I caught a limit pretty quick this morning. I had a limit by about 9:30, but they were small fish, so I just went around and practiced. And, I just happened to catch a few.
And Shumpert did rebound with one more limit. He stayed in second place, and he stayed confident.
I got one spot that's just loaded with fish. If I can figure out how to make them bite, I can win the tournament on this one brush pile.
So Quinn and Shumpert lead the field of 20 heading into the semis. Rounding out the top 5, Felton Langley from Lafayette, Alabama, Craig Workman from Fort Worth, Texas, and Vince Engel from Maryville, Tennessee.
That first cut is the toughest cut of all, from 150 down to a semifinal field of 20. We'll take a look at day 3 semifinal action when we come back. Welcome back, everybody, to the 2002 Everstart Championship. Now, these anglers have crossed a major hurdle in this Everstart Series, just qualifying for the championship, and they've also qualified for this final day. And also, they're taking a big step towards fulfilling their professional fishing dreams.
Now, in FLW Outdoors, we have our grassroots series, the Walmart Bass Fishing League, and only the top 30 from the Bass Fishing League have the opportunity to move up into Everstart. A little more commitment in time and dollars than our weekend a BFL series. Here in Everstart, they can fish 4 events, a little higher entry fee, week-long events. And again, the top 10 from the Everstart, each of our divisions, get the opportunity to move up into the FLW Tour, the very top of professional bass angling.
And some exciting news, we have an Everstart Western Division starting in 2003.
Absolutely. Our new Western Division will be added to our Northern Division, Central Division, and our Eastern Division, giving us 4 divisions next year in the Everstart, still growing.
All right, well, these anglers have an opportunity to work their way up to the professional ranks. They also, these 10, have worked their way up to this final day. Let's take a look at what happened in that exciting semifinal round right here on Lake Martin.
Day 3.
It's just over an hour from the launch time. We've just completed a 15-minute run with tournament leader Jason Quinn. Jason, all eyes are on you today. You were tournament leader after day 1 and now day 2. And you're showing your versatility. We've been fishing deep just a little while ago. Now you've got a spinnerbait working.
Well, yeah, there's a nice little old southeast breeze blowing. And once you get back in here where I'm fishing, the water's just got a little bit of color to it. And there's been some good fish back here and a lot of bait. But also out there in about 20, 25 foot of water, there's a lot of bait out there, but there's an awful lot of small fish still out there. The better fish are moving shallow. And I'm just mixing it up to see what's happening. The lake and the wildlife are kind of dead, but I think things will pick up here in just a little bit.
Jason, you've got the ability to fish deep. You've already done that successfully. You can also fish shallow. If you had your pick, which style would you choose to try to win this tournament?
I like to fish offshore deep structure. That's what I like to fish because it's easy to go out there when you do find them and catch a limit in about 5 minutes. So that's always a lot easier. So that's what I prefer to do. But I'm just as comfortable fishing shallow as I am deep.
It sure does look like you're having a lot of fun this tournament.
Oh, yeah. I'm enjoying it.
Day 3 of the Everstart Championship. We are about 2 miles from the launch here, and we've got Vince Engel in the boat. He has done well in Everstart. He's had a number of top 10 finishes. But Vince, you're fishing here for big money this time. What does it mean to make the championship?
It's just a great feeling, the people make you feel like a king.
Have you had your success in this part of the lake all week?
No. The first time I fished it was yesterday about noon, but I noticed it had fish all over it. And I said, well, I might use that. So, yeah, there's a good bite on this bank. But I did most of my fishing about within a 5-mile radius of the marina. 2 of them.
What are you catching them on?
Catching them on a small worm, a Zoom finesse worm, June bug, on a 1/4 ounce lead head, rigging it weedless though. I'm rigging that, bringing the lead head hook back through the worm, and just does a beautiful job on spotted bass as well as largemouth.
Well, there's a snapshot of the action in the semifinal round yesterday. Our anglers that surround this stage survived that cut from 20 to 10. When we come back, we will meet our finalists for the 2002 Everstart Championship. Welcome back to Alexander City, everybody. We are just moments away from our exciting shootout-style weigh-in, and this is a lot of fun on this stage as these anglers bring these fish. Explain a little bit about what we're going to see here in moments.
Again, we said we're going to likely have a very tight and close weigh-in. We're going to start with our boat number one. He'll bring up one fish and weigh it in, and each angler then has to weigh enough fish to take over the lead. At the point they can't take over the lead, then they'll be eliminated.
Okay, well, we started off with a full field of 150 professional anglers. They survived that first cut down to 20 semifinalists and now to 10 finalists who made what we call the Poland cut. Let's meet our finalists right now. Our first angler is a 4-year veteran of the Everstart Eastern Division, where he finished 3rd in the season standings this year. He has never finished higher than 5th, but he is looking for more today. From Maryville, Tennessee, Vince Engel. Our next angler surged to the top of the heap in the semifinals with an amazing 5-fish limit of 11 pounds, 3 ounces, 3.5 pounds better than next best. He's improved his weight every day of this championship. From Fort Worth, Texas, Craig Workman. Our next angler is a 6-year veteran of the BFL and just completed his 2nd year in the Everstart Eastern Division, where he finished 32nd in the season standing. His 5-fish limit of just under 7 pounds kept him in a tight pack of finalists for today. From Snellville, Georgia, Mark Holloway. Our next angler finished 55th in last year's Everstart Championship. His 2nd season in the Northern Division produced another top 20 finish in the season standing. His consistent limit produced an opportunity to claim today's championship. From Sturgis, Michigan, Mark Zona. Our next angler already owns one Everstart tournament victory this year, taking the title on the plentiful waters of Lake Champlain. He also owns a 4th place finish at this year's tournament at Thousand Islands. 2002 is his year. From Palatine Bridge, New York, Tom Dolan. Our next angler finished 30th in the Everstart Northern Division this year. He finished 63rd in last year's Everstart Championship. He's looking for his first win since 1998 in this year's championship. From Lexington, North Carolina, Daryl Beck. Our next angler won the Everstart Northern Division this year in just his 2nd year in the Everstart Series. He's a 6-year veteran of the BFL. His semifinal total of 6 pounds, 12 ounces, just enough for a shot at the title. From Newtown, Pennsylvania, Marcel Veenstra. Our next angler is a 6-year veteran on the FLW Tour. He likes to fish. He's competed in all 3 Everstart divisions this year, as well as a full FLW Tour schedule. He qualified for this week's championship with a 9th place finish in the North. From Osceola, Indiana, Koby Krieger. Our next angler finished 17th in his first year in the Everstart Central Division. Also a 7-year BFL veteran, he finished 8th at this year's BFL All-American. His 2 fish in the semis were enough for another top 10 at a national championship this year. From Salina, Ohio, Dick Schaefer. Our final finalist is the angler with all the fish and all the headlines at this week's championship. He led the field after days 1 and 2. With 29 pounds, 5 ounces, no one has caught more fish than Lake Wiley, South Carolina's Jason Quinn. Ladies and gentlemen, here are your 10 finalists for the 2002 Everstart Championship. When we come back, we will begin to see some of those amazing fish from Lake Martin. Don't go away.
Welcome back to Walmart FLW Outdoors and the Everstart Championship from Lake Martin in Alabama. Beautiful day for fall fishing, 50 degrees and water temperature around 66. And behind me, Craig Workman, who is the leader after 3 days, and he is one of few anglers who have caught increasing weights every day. Now, one of the problems has been there's been no real consistent pattern or method of catching fish all week long. Today's task to figure out what's going to work in the finals. Let's check in with Carlton Wing now.
It's just moments from the launch time, and we're not a mile away from the launch site. We're here with Koby Krieger, and this guy likes to fish. He fishes a full season on the FLW Tour and fished in all 3 Everstart divisions, qualifying out of the North with a 9th place finish in the season standings there. That's how he got to this championship. And Koby, here we are just moments from the launch. I see you've got a topwater bite working.
Yeah, there's a brush pile right here, and I throw a topwater over every brush pile, and then I got this little homemade bait I throw in after that, just in case if they didn't want that, just in case they didn't want to bite a topwater bait first thing in the morning. And I just sort of keep moving, you know, trying several different baits, just at different times to see what they like.
Koby, talk a little bit about how the wind has affected your fishing this week, because on day 1 we had a lot of wind, and it's progressively gotten less and less through the course of this tournament.
Yeah, the wind, I mean, I'm the type of guy that I don't like to fish in the wind. I'd rather fish in the rain, but the way I'm fishing, you know, I'm getting back in these shallower pockets on up in the day and trying to catch fish that I see cruising up and down the bank. And when it's real windy out, you know, that made it tough for me to see the fish. So when I saw the forecast was going to be, you know, light winds and everything yesterday, I felt pretty confident that, you know, that I could, you know, probably catch enough fish to make the cut. You know, now today's, you know, the sun's not going to shine, which they ought to hit a topwater bait pretty much all day long.
You're fishing for a championship today. How does that feel?
Well, I mean, it'd be great to win. I mean, I'm pretty happy that I got this far. You know, whenever you can make it to the last day of any tournament, no matter what it is, if it's just a regular Everstart or FLW tournament, you've actually accomplished something that, you know, a lot of people wish that they, you know, could. You know, so I'm happy, and if things work out and I have a great day and win, I'll even be happier.
Just moments after our conversation, Koby got happy. It was Krieger's first keeper.
There's one. Good fish. Come on, baby. Yeah, it's a keeper. Yes. Get in here. Get in here. There's one. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Whew. It's always good to have one in the boat.
If the first one feels good, the 6th one feels better. Koby culled when a largemouth jumped on a topwater offering just before 1 o'clock.
There he is. Good fish, too. I can call with him. He stays on. He's not hooked real good. That's right. That's right, boys. Krieger's day just got a little bit better. Where have you been, brother? It's been a long time since I've seen one of you.
It's less than an hour from the launch time. We're about 10 minutes downriver, just across from the Blue Creek area, and this is Mark Zona. Mark, you just pulled up and you saw some fish breaking that had to get your heart pumping.
Yeah, I mean, it makes me excited to see that they're doing it so early in the morning. That's the first time I've seen them coming up since probably about Tuesday. And that's what I was really banking on catching them this week, and they just hadn't come up at all. But pulling in here and seeing that, I was a couple seconds too late. If this cloud stays around today, they're going to start coming up. It might get pretty interesting. There's another guy in the tournament, Tom Dolan, waiting for the same thing I am. And when they come up there, I mean, they're the biggest ones I've messed with this week.
Mark, we had some high winds early in this tournament on day 1. It's kind of settled down every day. It's kind of calm here on the championship day. We've also got some cloud coverage. Conditions could be right for a big day.
Well, it'll more than anything just get them a little more active on top. You know, I don't know what it'll do to the dock fish. I think the guys will still catch them on docks. And later on today, I'm going to definitely try it too. But seeing the clouds like this, I might just do this all day and just go for broke.
Have you been able to stick with your game plan this week?
No, not at all. I've scrambled every single day, and I got a feeling this is going to be just another day like that.
Tell me a little bit about the topwater presentation you're using. Specifically, what is it that you're hoping for?
Try to make it as loud as I can to call one up. You know, usually, you know, in practice, I just sat there like a loaded gun and wait for them to come up and bust, and then I throw at them, and then they just sit, you know, I didn't have hooks on my bait, and they'd play volleyball with it. You know, but most times I'm just kind of waiting to hear them.
Mark, you fished out of the Everstart Northern Division. What's it like to fish in the northern lakes and then come down here for a championship fishing in a southern lake? What are the differences and what are the similarities?
I fished this lake before. I fished tournaments down here before. And the lakes, we fish it a lot like we fish our smallmouth at home. You know, the lake's real clear and you use light line. And you don't catch great big ones here. They're in here. I've seen them this week, but it's just like fishing at home. I feel comfortable on this lake, you know, having the clear water.
Next on FLW Outdoors, Georgia's Mark Holloway enjoys new... Welcome back to FLW Outdoors. This is the final round of the 2002 Everstart Championship, and this is Snellville, Georgia's Mark Holloway. We're just trolling up to chat with Mark when fortune strikes.
Y'all bring some luck with you?
Ask and ye shall receive.
Fish. Fish him.
Mark is using a medium running crankbait, which runs 8 to 12 feet deep. Holloway found big fish on this rocky point in practice, but had yet to land a keeper until now. In fact, at 8:40 in the morning, this is Holloway's first keeper of the day. It's a great feeling to get number one in the box.
Number one. He ain't big, but I'll take it. I weighed in a lot smaller this week, I promise you.
Do you have much experience here on Lake Martin?
I've never seen the lake before in my life until I got here for practice.
Well, obviously it's worked well for you this week. What is it about this lake that has matched your style so well to get to the final round?
I've never fished a tournament that's been so against my style in my life. Generally, I'm a shallow water fisherman. I look for dirty water where I can pitch jigs or tubes and throw spinner baits. But that kind of water is hard to find on this lake. I'm not generally a clear water fisherman, but I'm quickly becoming one. I hope I'll be one by the end of the day.
At least you're a big fan of that style right now.
Right now, I'm loving it.
Let's flash forward with Mark, who became a bigger fan of drop shotting just after noon. His largest fish of the day came in 44 feet of water.
Oh, gosh almighty. Get in here. Woo! Yes, sir. That's what we're looking for. Right there.
The weather conditions have altered, as they always will over any 4-day period, but we had high winds day one. It's kind of toned itself down. Has that played into your hands well?
Well, it's kind of made me adjust what I was doing. To start the tournament, when the wind was blowing, I was catching fish on spinnerbait and on this little medium running crankbait on the wind-blown points. As it died down, I switched more to a Carolina rig, but still on the same types of structure. And then yesterday afternoon, I got on a little bit of a drop shot deal out in about 42 feet of water, which I usually don't keep that much line on my reel. But it was ever dropped for about an hour. We went back to them this morning and didn't get a bite, but maybe they'll be there later.
We are back with Craig Workman. He has just landed a fish, and we're about 13 miles south of the launch area near the dam. Craig, the fish you just caught, how did it happen?
Fishing a Texas rig. Worm. It's been a slow bite this morning. Hadn't caught one as quick as I thought I would. We chopped through the ice, so now we can get our second bite.
Has this area been good to you?
It's been real good to me. I just hope I haven't beat it up too bad.
You're one of few anglers who's weighed in increasing weight every day. How have you done that?
Yesterday I really didn't try to increase my weight. I got a lucky bite yesterday. I've seen the fish all week. I didn't think she'd bite, but I took a shot at it. When I set the hook, I said, oh my God. And when she started coming up, I said, oh my God. But my
co-angler had the net under it right before she jumped. And I didn't have to fight her. I got 10-pound test line, and I'd have never got her in. She just took a run. I'd have lost her. Got lucky.
Do you have some areas that you feel like holding enough fish to win this tournament?
I think so. I feel confident that I just got to stay at it and fish slow. Just try to make myself just slow down, not get over.
You're not nervous, are you?
A little bit.
Is this the biggest money you've ever fished for?
Yeah. It's the biggest money I've had a shot at. I've fished for it a lot, but I've never had the good shot at it. I think I have a good shot at it. I think I'm going to do well. All the other guys are going to do well, too. So I wish them the best of luck. We just got to keep going.
Coming up on FLW Outdoors, Carlton talks to the angler who was all over fish in the first round, the confident and colorful Jason Quinn.
It's about an hour and a half from the launch time, and we're between Willow Point and Parker Creek in the southwest portion of Lake Martin. Behind me, Jason Quinn. No one has caught more fish than Jason in this tournament, and as you can see, he's got a small crowd gathered with him today on this championship day. He's already got 4 keepers in the boat, and he is fishing with confidence. Seeing fish break on the surface is a great source of confidence. Watch as the camera and Jason zero in on a splash to their left. Quinn lands his topwater bait right on target, and seconds later,
That's a good one. This area here has been full of fish. The wind's been blowing here for about the past 3 or 4 days. And you got a little bit of color in here, and these couple little pockets back in here are full of bait. On the end of these little old secondary points, this is a long little finger. They've been running bait in here. They've been some good ones in here, but, you know, just catching one of them's been the deal. Like I said, that one back there jumped out of the water on it twice before it even got to it.
I see you look around before you cast. What is it that you're looking for specifically?
I'm just looking for a little bait movement. These fish are keying on that bait, and you can sit there and make a 1,000 throws and not catch nothing, but if you see a little bait ring up, that's because there's one around him fixing to eat him. So,
Jason, specifically, what are you trying to do with this particular topwater presentation?
we're sitting in 28 feet of water right now, but at the end of this flat runs out. It ain't but 4 feet deep right here, just 10 feet from the boat. So you got a perfect little edge, and the creek channel comes in here, sweeps right by it.
What were some of the things this morning that told you what the bite was going to be like today? What kind of pieces of evidence did you have?
This cloud cover was real nice. You know, it's been just big high pressure the last couple of days, and I mean, the window opportunity for a topwater bite has been pretty slim. You get one to run up, and then that's it. But it seems like they're a little bit more active today in these clouds, so I hope it hangs around a while. Oh, that's a good one. Well, there's a big one behind it. I mean, not a good one, but there's a big one behind it. Just keep it cool. That one little fish sitting behind it. There's one about 3 pounds behind it, and I have to catch the little guy. But you get rid of one of the little squeakers. That's a good one. That's a big one. That's a big one. A little bit better fish.
The clouds have given way to sunny skies by noon. Quinn is now culling and looking for the one kicker fish that could win the championship. Jason flips a jig for the first time today and found his prize under the shade of a dock.
That right there probably cost me to win this thing. Probably cost me to win it. Right there.
When FLW Outdoors returns, we'll find if those words were prophetic. The finalists bring their fish to the weigh-in stage next.
Welcome back to Walmart FLW Outdoors and the final round of the Everstart Championship on Alabama's Lake Martin. Now the anglers face off at the scales, with each contender only weighing enough fish to take the lead. Now, we're not giving anything away, but you're about to see the shootout-style weigh-in at its best. By the time Dick Schaefer came to the stage, the weight to beat was already 5 pounds. Schaefer's 2 fish were well short, and he was the first to sit down. Then first-round leader Jason Quinn rocked the arena. It took all 5 of his fish, but he pushed the mark to 6 pounds, 13 ounces, and kicked the contest into high gear. The next 3 anglers fell like dominoes. First, Tennessee's Vince Engel, then Texan Craig Workman, and finally Georgia's Mark Holloway, who jumped all the way to second place but couldn't quite top Quinn. That takes the field down to 6 as we rejoin the weigh-in and things really start to get interesting.
Jason's wife, Taffy, and son, Zachary, are here. They're from Lake Wiley, South Carolina. You're not nervous right now, are you?
I'm extremely nervous.
We followed Jason all week long because we could tell he knew what he was doing out there. What makes Jason a good fisherman?
I would definitely have to say his dedication and versatility.
If you lined up 10 FLW anglers, you might pick out Jason pretty easily. Is that a look that's going to catch on among FLW anglers?
Well, it caught me on. I would definitely have to say that Jason receives a lot of approval for his appearance. However, with approval comes criticism. However, I do think that his look will appeal to a whole new generation of fishermen.
Taffy Quinn, thank you very much. The Quinn family right behind Jason, Carlton.
All right, let's get this weigh-in cooking one more time. Mark Zona coming up next. We have 6 finalists still alive. Mark weighed in 2 fish for 2 pounds and 9 ounces. We need another 4 pounds, 4 ounces.
And 4 pounds, 4 ounces was exactly what Zona had. And that tied Jason Quinn. But because Quinn had the better first round weight, he won the tiebreaker, and Zona was out.
There's not much I could say. I mean, I had to throw the best punch I had today, and congratulations, James. Yeah, that's a bummer. You know, I mean, there's nothing else I could say about that. I really wanted to have 4 or 5 more than you can imagine right now.
And again, what a great job you've done fishing all week long. Tremendous job. Tell us what you're doing.
Right here, I'm drop shotting. I'm drop shotting right next to my roommate, Tom Dolan. We found those fish together. I scratched out a couple there real quick. Then I just went banging the docks the rest of the day.
How close were Zona and Dolan? Close enough to have a conversation as they drop-shotted brush piles in water as deep as 60 feet. Now, with his buddy Zona out, Dolan was next to go.
2 fish here. They are alive and weigh in at 2 pounds, 10 ounces. Not enough, but a great day of fishing for you anyway.
I'll be honest with you. My original plan was, once I had a limit, was to, just go fishing for some bigger fish. And I just struggled to catch a limit today, So, and I had a limit every day, and I said to myself, I just want to go catch a limit today. And, and I had about 45 minutes left after I caught my 5th fish. And I went to an area where I had caught a 3.5-pound largemouth during practice. And I went in there. I knew there was some largemouth living in there. I caught one there the other day, and I just couldn't get that bite that I needed. So I just did the best I could.
Dolan also uncovered a little secret, a new haircut that came when he lost a bet. A bet with his fishing buddy, Mark Zona. And what are friends for?
Gerald Beck came to the scale next, needing over 3 pounds to catch Quinn. Beck came up short, but his final round catches were a clinic for deep-water anglers. Watch as Beck kicks in his marker buoy while he lands a keeper, and then reveals he got the fish's attention with a crankbait and caught it on a worm.
Yeah. Come on, baby. Be a keeper. Be a keeper. He a big. I'd have to warm them up with my crankbait, and I couldn't get them to bite it today for some reason. And just about every time I'd catch one on the first cast when I throw that worm out there.
So you're throwing the crankbait through them and then picking up the worm and throwing it out.
Pennsylvania's Marcel Veenstra was next to take a shot at the lead, but a single small fish didn't do it.
You look like you're shallower than most of these guys.
Yeah, I was fishing shallow. I was in maybe 1 to 5 feet most of the time.
What bait are you using out there?
I was using Yamamoto Senko and a Zoom Finesse worm.
And your favorite color?
green pumpkin.
And I noticed there you caught that one around the log. Most of them come around structure.
Every day it changed. Sometimes they were on point, sometimes they were on sandy cuts, and sometimes on some wood. Took at least a couple hours every day for me to figure these fish out. It was just 4 days, 4 completely different patterns.
I know one of these days he'll sit on the winner's platform. Great job. Marcel Beansford.
Congratulations. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are down to our final 2 anglers. Our leader right now, Jason Quinn, 6 pounds, 13 ounces. The only other angler who can catch Jason, Koby Krieger, so far with 5 pounds and 4 ounces. We will crown a champion coming up when we come back. Welcome back to Alexander City, everybody. These are the final moments of the 2002 Everstart Championship. We have 2 anglers remaining. Here's our leaderboard. Jason Quinn out on top, 6 pounds, 13 ounces. He beat the tiebreaker on Mark Zona, who has already weighed out. And then 3, 4, and 5, Mark Holloway, Marcel Veenstra, and Vince Engel. The only other angler who is still alive who could possibly catch Jason Quinn is Koby Krieger. You see him there in 8th place with 5 pounds and 4 ounces. Then there's Gerald Beck and Dick Schaefer at 9 and 10. And I'm going to stroll over here. We're going to talk to our leader, who is in a very, I would say, nervous and how uncomfortable is this position, because you weighed in all 5 of your fish a while ago. You've seen angler after angler try and fail to catch you. You are still alive, and there's only 1 left.
Yeah, I know it's a little nerve-wracking, but I had a good day on the water. I had a couple of opportunities that I didn't capitalize on real well, but, you know, that's fishing. So.
You've had a good week on the water as well, and one of the things that we have learned from all of these anglers is we take a look at some video of you out on the water today, is that versatility has been a must if you were going to survive in this tournament. Fish them shallow, fish them deep, fish them wherever they are.
Yeah, like I said, the better bite's been shallow. The bigger fish have been anyway. I catch the small fish deep, but I felt like I had an opportunity coming into it to fish shallow. So
I see you got your top water. This probably was the fish that you caught when we had strolled up to you to take a look at you this morning. Tell us a little bit about your top water presentation.
There I was throwing a splash it. I was just working some little low gravel bites that had an inside edge to them. There's been some pretty good fish sitting on those, but just wasn't no size to them today.
We caught up to you. You had 4 fish in the live well, and this was just about an hour and a half after the launch. So that gives you a little bit more confidence for the rest of the day, knowing that you got some keepers?
Yeah, that's the main thing, getting under your belt. You know, you get that limit. A limit goes a long ways in these tournaments of ounces. So you just try to go get a big bite.
You were effective with the deep water. You were effective with the spinnerbait a little bit earlier. Did you throw the spinnerbait at all today?
Yeah, I did. Matter of fact, the first fish this morning was on spinnerbait. And then I lost about 3 pounds on spinnerbait this afternoon. And that's about the only 2 bites I had on it all day.
Talk about that blade configuration on your spinnerbait.
That blade configuration is a 3-blade spinnerbait. It's a 3.5, a 3.5, and a 4. And I throw a 3/4 ounce because you can burn it through them real fast. And that seems to trigger a pretty good bite.
Koby Krieger is 2 boats away from you right now. He's the only angler left. He's 1 pound and 9 ounces away. He's weighed in 4, potentially has a 5th fish that could take the title. Have you been trying to make eyes over there to see if he's looking confident or not?
Well, Koby's a good fisherman, and I'm sure we've got one.
All right, he's with Charlie Evans right now. Jason and I are going to make our way to the scale. Charlie, you're with Koby.
I'm sitting here with Koby Krieger again. He has weighed in 4. He's down by 1 pound, 9 ounces. Because of the tiebreaker, you're going to have to get to at least 110. And we haven't seen a lot of big fish weighed in today.
No, I haven't caught a big fish the whole tournament, Charlie. So, we'll have to see what it is.
Have to see what it is. I know Jason's anxiously waiting to see. Again, all it's riding here is $25,000 in cash and a water-ready Ranger. That's all that's on the line.
That's it.
That's it. Plus a lot of prestige and bragging rights. Let's take a look at you out there on Lake Martin and see what you're doing here today. All right. What's the bait we got here?
I caught most of my fish today, Charlie, on a Super Spook Junior. I just had a great day of fishing. It was awesome.
Now let's talk about the Junior rather than the regular spook. Smaller bait?
It's a little smaller bait than a regular spook, and it works really well.
The reason for using the smaller bait, do you think?
No, I fill that size of bait no matter what. If I'm fishing for little fish or big fish, and they all seem to hit it. I put a feather on the back of it to dress it up a little bit.
You put the feather on the back. What color was the spook?
It was bone white with a little bit of red feather on the back.
Now, you have won along the Everstart Series. Matter of fact, you're really good along the Everstart Series. Also fished the FLW Tour, but you've not yet won an Everstart Championship.
No, I've never won an Everstart Championship, so hopefully if the fish I got weighs more than 1.8 pounds or whatever I need.
I think it was about 3 pounds or something like that. All right, Koby, let's find out. Bring it out and let's find out if he's got enough. One of these two will be our champion here today.
Okay, Jason's got a good bird's eye view here of this scale. 1 pound and 10 ounces is what we have got to have out of Koby Krieger.
Anything less than that, and he's got what looks like to be the fish of the day. And this fish weighs in at 2 pounds, 8 ounces. Koby's the champion.
Koby Krieger is your 2002 Everstart champion right here on Lake Martin in Alexander City. Koby, tell me, how does it feel? You're a champion now.
Well, first off, I want to say this is for Jerry and Connie Stakely. Before I came to this tournament, I wanted to win this tournament for them, and that's what I wanted.
Jerry Stakely, of course, is the Everstart director, and his wife, Connie, is going through some brave medical problems right now and has touched a lot of this Everstart family. Koby Krieger, a champion, has dedicated it to them. Congratulations. $25,000, a Ranger boat coming your way. Here comes the check as well. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you have seen the best in professional fishing. Our anglers tested to the limit here on Lake Martin. Koby Krieger, your 2002 Everstart champion. Thanks for watching, everybody, right here on FLW Outdoors.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. I believe one got it. Bam. Come on, baby.
They're very big, but they're going well.
What a time to get your limit, huh? How about that?
Be a keeper. Be a keeper. Be a big one. Don't just be a keeper, be a big one.
Fishing, yeah. Oh, fishing.